Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to The Discriminating Gamer, the board game review show that was always a little more Adam Smith than Karl Marx. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to go ahead and take a look at The Captain is Dead Lockdown from AEG. The Captain is Dead Lockdown from AEG is the sequel to The Captain is Dead from AEG. Funny how that works. Ladies and gentlemen, the first game was a kind of a spaceship simulator. You were different characters on the spaceship except for the captain because he was kaput. And you were going around trying to fix systems as you're being attacked by aliens. Now, in this sequel game, essentially you were able to escape the ship, but then you were captured by the aliens and sent to this alien prison. So the game board is this prison. It's got different rooms. You've got the infirmary, you have got the kind of control center, you've got the warden's office, you've got the mess hall, the storage room. You've got all these different rooms, and each room has certain systems that you are going to try to activate. Critically, you've also got the launch pad, which is going to be very important in this game. Players have different characters to choose from. They're different colored characters, and they do different things. You've got like kind of your security guys, you've got your science guys, you've got command guys, and essentially you look through the cards, you find the character you want to play. They've all got a certain number on them, and that kind of shows their activation order for the game. Now, as I say, you've got the different rooms around the board, and they each have systems attached to it. And you flip the system to its locked side. Players are going to be able to break into them, to unlock them, or to hack them as the game progresses. So once players have chosen their character, they go ahead and you start out in the infirmary. Now, you've got aliens around the board. Essentially, you've got this alert deck. Now, you've got a lot of yellow alerts. These are kind of your not-so-bad ones. Orange alerts, which get worse, and then you've got your red alerts, which are bad. At the beginning of the game, you draw the first five yellow alerts, and you do whatever it says. This is usually populating the board with different kinds of aliens. Now, critically, you have this concealment track, and it starts 100%. Essentially, the aliens aren't looking for you, they're just expecting you to stay in your quarters. But as things happen during the game, as you trigger alarms, this is going to drop it until it goes all the way to set to kill, when the aliens will kill you if they find you. So you got to be very careful here. You're going to go ahead and set off alarms by trying to hack into secure areas, or if you do other things that kind of arouse suspicion that set off the alarm. What you're trying to do is essentially gain skill cards. You gain different colored skill cards because you spend these skill cards in order to accomplish certain tasks with certain systems. To break into a system or to hack a system is usually cheaper, but it will set off that alarm, or you can try to just unlock it, in which case the alarm won't set off, and that gives you the advantage. A lot of times these advantages are get more cards, or if you go into the mess, you can go ahead and grab these kind of improvised plans, which just let you do, remove aliens from the board and let you do other good and positive things that are going to help you. You can go into the science lab. Some of these alerts that come up are going to be anomalies. These are kind of persistent dangers, and you have to go to the science lab in order to fix those. You can also do science to gain upgrades to give you kind of permanent abilities to you and your team. But critically, what you want to do is get to the launch pad. Now, if you get to the launch pad, if you've got enough of the science cards and some of the wild cards, which are the alien language cards, you can essentially move up the track toward the spacecraft, because that's what you're trying to do. If you can get that all the way to the top, you can escape and you get out of there safely. But the problem is these guys keep coming, these aliens keep coming, because at the end of every one of your turns, you're going to draw one of those alert cards. It usually will say hostile alien actions, meaning if the aliens belong to one class, they're going to go ahead and any systems that are hacked become unhacked. They get locked up again. If they are patrollers, then they will actually move, and then they can corner you and find you, and they will escort you back to the infirmary, unless, of course, you are set to kill, your concealment level is set to kill, in which case they will kill you. Now, each player also has some discount icons, so like they're good at certain things. So like if you've got a science icon, that means you have to spend one less science card to do a science thing or anything like that. So that is very, very helpful and very, very important as the game goes on. There are opportunities to raise your concealment level. I think it's in the Warden's office. If you spend 2 red and take 2 actions, you get that. Your cards also tell you how many actions you get per turn, which is generally 4. So you're spending actions like a currency in this game. But I mean, you can move and you can kill aliens. You don't have to roll a dice or anything. You just spend an action to kill an alien. And that sounds pretty easy until they start coming at you, in hordes. So essentially that's it. You're going around and around the board trying to activate these systems to gain skills, to slow down the aliens, to keep the aliens at bay while you're trying to build up your launch pad for your escape plan. So you're doing this constantly. Now, if ever all of the aliens, if you're on set to kill and all of the players die, I mean, if one dies, you can actually come back as another player from the same class. But if all of the players die, then of course that is game over. If ever you run out of all the alerts, game is over, you lose. But if you can get that launchpad escape bar all the way to escape, then you and the other players win this cooperative game of The Captain is Dead Lockdown. So I gotta tell you, I played the original Captain is Dead about a year or two ago. George and Holly and Darren and there was another fellow there if I recall. And it was fun. I liked it. I thought it was I do like these kind of spaceship simulator games. I generally think they're pretty fun. I'm thinking of Damage Report here. Space Alert was decent. I kind of like that as a concept in gaming. I don't think there's enough of these kinds of games out there. And so I liked it. I thought it was good. But it's punishing. It's very punishing. And Captain is Dead Lockdown, I think, is probably even a little harder. There's a lot more going on in this game than I just said. I'm just giving you a brief rules overview. But these things can pile up. You get anomalies out there, and you get just a ton of those aliens out there. If you don't got the guys with the right cards or getting the right cards and in the right position, it can get kind of, and the game can get a little mathy in terms of, well, I can go here and I can go here, but I don't have the actions. I won't have the actions to do it here, and I won't have the cards to do it here, so what can I do? There is some of that seeps into it, which I'm not a fan of, but generally speaking, it's got a good feel to it. It's got a really good pace, and it's not terribly difficult to play or to learn. I think there was only one kind of wonky rule we had to look up that was not huge, and we just house ruled it, and it was fine. But generally, it's an easy game to learn and to play. But it's a hard game to win. It's, like I say, it's very, very punishing. But I like it. I generally think this is a fun game where you and your friends are going to laugh, you're going to cringe, you're going to be, okay, what can you do? What can I do? How can you do it? So it's a good teamwork game. It's just a generally good co-op. Kind of reminds me in the sense of the Horde coming. It's kind of like Zombie Side when the Horde just builds. Well, here it's a horde of aliens, and I like too how there's different classes of aliens that do different things. I think that's a lot of fun too. But generally speaking, I enjoyed Captain is Dead Lockdown. If you're somebody that does not like these punishing cooperative games, maybe this isn't for you. I mean, now don't get me wrong. Cooperative games should be hard. Who'd want to play a cooperative game again and again and again if it was easy? The challenge is in beating it, right? So cooperative games should be difficult to win. This one seems that it's very difficult to win. Again, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm just putting it out there. I know there's some people that if the game's just too punishing, they don't like it. And for me, there is a threshold too. This one, I don't know. It's got enough charm that I still like it. So the recommendation for The Captain is Dead Lockdown is try it before you buy it, but it is a very positive try it before you buy it. Thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on The Discriminating Gamer. As always, we ask you to please leave a comment for us on YouTube, on Board Game Geek, on our Facebook page, or on thediscriminatinggamer.com. We ask you to please like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, and follow us on Twitter. We are The Discriminating Gamer, and I gotta tell you, ladies and gentlemen, years ago I was in Berlin, and right there by the TV tower, they have this giant statue of Karl Marx sitting down, and people would climb up onto his lap and get their picture taken with him. And I just remember thinking to myself, that makes sense. He's kind of the evil Santa Claus.
Somebody help me on my feet again, and I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know where I've been. Please somebody help me on the solid ground. It's a long time, and I'll be dying. Once a year I wind up in the band.
Cody, make good choices.